Thank you. Well, this donors conference, this video conference, is being organized by France. So we can't answer all those questions. We have been invited to take part. We'll be connecting via a video conference and via Commissioner Lenarčič. So all the questions of a practical nature on the organization of this conference should be actually addressed to the French authorities. As to whether it's too soon for this conference, well, as I said, we haven't called this conference, but obviously we're very willing to participate and we want to get as much information as possible. It's true that we are working on an assessment of the humanitarian needs, and I think what we have to take into account is that our efforts need to be concentrated on the most urgent needs. It's not just about reconstruction, but this conference is also aiming at collecting funds for urgent humanitarian needs. These are things that the Lebanese people need right away. So we thought that it would be a good idea and the right time for the participants in this conference to come with their best estimates, because the situation on the ground is extremely difficult. I can't really give you any comment on your final question as to the previous conferences which took place. What is clear is that what the President of the Commission said to the Lebanese Prime Minister is that we are willing to take part in assessment of needs in terms of rebuilding Lebanon, if that's what they want. But that's the second stage. At the moment, we're really concentrating on the emergency phase and the humanitarian phase. There will be later stages to all of this, but we need to put in adequate mechanisms to evaluate the needs, and that's obviously if the Lebanese authorities wish us to do so, and we are ready to look at the funds provided by Member States and the Commission and to ensure that they are dealt with as effectively as possible. That's all we can say for the moment, really, on that particular issue. Are there any questions on Lebanon?
On Lebanon, I see many hands raised. Please only keep your hand raised if it is on this. Mose, I see that your hand is raised. Please.
Yes, Eric, thank you. Yes, I would like also to ask one or two questions about Lebanon and the EU assistance to Lebanon, following Christian's previous question. If I'm not wrong, both President von der Leyen talked, as you said, to the Lebanese Prime Minister yesterday, and also the EU assistance, which is already going. Humanitarian emergency assistance. But when President Macron visited Lebanon yesterday, I think he said, among others, if I quote him, that we will not let any assistance end up into corrupted hands. And he was obviously talking about linking more long-term assistance for the reconstruction of Lebanon to political and economic reforms of what we all know is a very dysfunctional sectarian structure in Lebanon. So my question is, does EU agree with President Macron on this? And to this also linked another question, and that is, let's say, the role of Hezbollah in all this. It's too early to say if they were responsible for the blast. We don't know yet who was in charge of that ammonia storages which blew up. But we know all that Hezbollah, a proxy of Iran, and a constant cause, I would say, of tension in the region, and also supporting the regime in Damascus, that it is storing ammunition and missiles in civilian areas in Lebanon. So my last question is, does EU call on Lebanon now or later, let's say, to at last try to disarm Hezbollah? which will also be in agreement with, I think, with United Nations Security Council resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mose. For the second question, I will call on Peter. But for the first, what I would like to reiterate at this point in time is that the city of Beirut and the people of Lebanon are facing an immediate, extremely severe crisis. And our focus, and this is what the President said to the Prime Minister of Lebanon, is on ensuring that we can provide the most effective, immediate support possible. There will be a time in a second stage to discuss the longer-term support that can be provided to the country. And of course, as the President of the Commission and the President of the European Council yesterday wrote in their letter, as far as the EU is concerned, we will make sure that we have a coordination mechanism in place that will allow us to ensure the effectiveness of the use of the funding. And for the moment, this is where we stand and the point at which we want to keep the debate. There will be time later on to discuss more in detail what might be the appropriate channels for this. On the second question, I'd like to pass the floor to Peter.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. The position of the EU on disarming Hezbollah has not changed. I mean, of course, there is a relevant United Nations Security Council resolution, so the only relevant actor in Lebanon who should be allowed to be armed is the Lebanese army. That's the clear position. Nothing has changed in this. On all the other comments and interpretations you did, I mean, it's premature to speculate now. There is an investigation going on. It's very important to have the investigation so that that there are answers. Lebanese people need answers for this unprecedented tragedy, but let's not jump ahead when it comes to attributing the responsibility for this tragic event. For what is clear, something will need to be done, and this was underlined also in the outreach of the European leaders in their contacts with the Lebanese counterparts, be it the President of the Commission, von der Leyen, be it the High Representative Borrell, and others, who are underlining one key element and one key message for the political leaders in the country. The enormous scope of the tragedy is making it today more important than ever to unite around the national effort to tackle all the problems of the country. Before the tragedy on Tuesday, Lebanon was facing a lot of challenges, systemic problems, unsolved problems. This also is linked to the question Christian raised, and you mentioned, Mose, as well, the overall support for the recovery of the country. The conference in 2018, the CEDR conference, was exactly focused on this, helping Lebanon to overcome the structural problems. But the basic condition there was reforms. So this is a wake-up call also for the Lebanese politicians to start efforts to unite themselves and to embark on a very serious reform efforts, because it is so obvious to the Lebanese people and also to the Lebanese partners outside that Lebanon needs profound reforms.
Thank you, Peter. I see hands still raised. I suppose it is on this issue, so we move to Philippe Régnier. Philippe, tu as la parole.
Philippe, the floor is yours.
Si tu appuies sur Speak.
Please press on Speak.
Voilà. Est-ce que ça fonctionne maintenant?
Is it now working? I've got two questions, both on Lebanon. In yesterday's letter from the two presidents, mention was made of a coordination mechanism to be set up. You spoke about this. Could you give us some idea about the location, the timing, further details about this mechanism? And then my second question is this: in the readout from President von der Leyen's communication yesterday following her conversation with the Lebanese Prime Minister, there was some indication of a more long-term approach, preferential arrangements in the area of trade. So what's the thinking behind this? Would this, for example, be something along the lines of a traditional free trade arrangement, which of course would take a very long time, or is there any more rapid and effective way forward? Thank you very much indeed. On the first question, What we were wanting to do was to put down in black and white a principle or a requirement in order to ensure that any aid to be given to Lebanon from different European sources, either the European Union as such or member states, should be managed and administered in an effective and consistent manner to ensure that it can benefit the Lebanese people. So what we wanted to do was to flag this up and recall something which should be self-evident, namely that the very nature of the work done by European institutions is to contribute to coordinating such efforts. Now, when it comes to the exact way in which this is to be implemented, we will, of course, have to look and see how best to take this forward. It's a bit early in the day yet, because, as I said, currently we are trying to manage emergency aid, and the first thing we have to do is to evaluate the need for reconstruction, look at the proposals being made, and under that aegis we will then see what the best mechanism will be to ensure that funds are properly administered. On the second question, perhaps here I could give the floor to Peter, but could I just recall one thing quite clearly? The European Union is the most important economic partner for Lebanon, and we are, of course, always at our partners' disposal to see how best to further improve our trade relations. Now, you may well know that Lebanese industrial products, as well as most Lebanese agricultural products, are already granted free access to the European Union's market. And in the medium term, we are prepared to explore how to further facilitate procedures, particularly customs procedures, to further smooth the access of such products. So that is what is currently under discussion. In other words, improving the access of Lebanese products to the European Union's markets. Maria.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi Maria.
Hello, my questions are for Peter, but not on Liban. So may I ask now? Or?
No, if you don't mind, let's finish. We will come back to you, Maria.
Yes, of course.
Finish on Lebanon. Thank you very much. Athanasios, no, not on Lebanon either. Nawab, is your question on Lebanon?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm speaking. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Are there any plans for the High Representative to visit Lebanon soon? Thank you.
Thank you, Nawab. Not at this stage. You know that the President of the European Council just announced that he will be in Beirut tomorrow. So with this, the EU is represented on the ground, and what is important is really now to focus on trying to see how the EU could help best with concrete gestures and concrete measures to help Lebanon to overcome the immediate and the more long-term needs in terms of all the challenges the country is facing.